I usually like to start the show off with a little bit of enthusiasm and excitement, but it doesn't feel that way in Cleveland today. Mike Hall, as we have probably all heard by now, arrested with a domestic dispute with his fiance and very disturbing details. And it's not going to be the entirety of today's show, but it would feel a little tone deaf and if I started off like, what's going on, everyone? Browns player got arrested. Woohoo. Like, no. It's bad on a lot of fronts. The first front being, of course, victim in this, his fiance, the child, the family they have together. That's going to require a lot of work and repair, and no guarantee that it can be repaired. So there's so much to that we don't need to go into. But also from the Browns standpoint of having a pattern of drafting players with character concerns. There was chatter about Perion Winfrey not being the best guy when they took him. There was chatter about Mike Hall's character when they took him. When are they going to learn their lesson? I understand big, fast guys are hard to find, and those are good players to go after in the draft. But they're no good for you if they're not on the roster because they had to get released because they put a gun to someone's head, allegedly. At some point, I would like for Andrew Berry, and listen, I've been a huge supporter and defender and stan of his, but I'm not going to go as far to be like, yeah, this is actually perfectly acceptable by Berry. Like, there needs to be some reflection going on for someone who's very bright, very intelligent, because this is a dumb thing that keeps happening. So I'll open up with that. That's the latest on my call. He's not been released yet. My guess is the Browns aren't rushing to get something done before they really have all the facts because, well, the reports and the allegations look awful and damning. Like, there have been cases of with the punter from San Diego State, the punt god, Matt Araiza, thank you. He was accused of rape and it was fabricated, right? And kind of smeared his name and ruined his early chance at the NFL with the Bills. There was the Tennessee linebacker who was falsely accused of rape. So I'm not saying that this is the same situation here, but the Browns want to take their time and make sure that they know everything before just jumping to a knee-jerk reaction, which, that's the more grown-up, mature thing to do. And us fans sometimes are a little bit impatient. That's kind of the nature of it and the way the world goes around. But that's the Mike Hall latest here. Over 90 people watching with us already, so we'll shift gears a little bit and talk about the Browns Stadium because it hit a snag, it hit a hurdle, it hit a wall that I saw coming. And when the Browns dropped their new stadium renderings, in my video, halfway through, I only gave it about 15, 20 seconds, but I said, by the way, this is not a done deal. This is $1.2 billion they're asking for. Folks in Columbus, folks in the county and the city are going to have some problems with this, and that's probably going to dampen the mood a little bit. And that happened. So, where should the Browns' next stadium be located? Do you want it downtown or do you want it Brook Park? Those are the two options. It's renovated downtown stadium, Brook Park Dome. There's no combination. You can't put a dome downtown for where it currently is. That has been ruled out. It's either renovations, massive ones, or start from scratch.
Where do you want the stadium to be located and why?
I'm Team Brook Park. I fully understand for those that want to keep it in downtown for the following reasons. You are a season ticket holder. If they move to Brook Park, the Browns are going to try and make up their $1.2 billion by jacking up season ticket seat license, which right now may not be as expensive, but when you put it in a dome stadium, they're going to say, well, it's a nice stadium now. We're going to increase it by 25, 30%. That sucks, right? If you've been a long-time season ticket holder and they raise your rent, that's no fun. So I get that. If you're team nostalgia and history, I love history and I feel you, but I don't know if this is history worth repeating. Do you want to continue the factory of sadness? Like, are there memories that are going to be missed from the current stadium, really? I don't think so. Not a lot. Maybe a fresh start's good. So, for everyone saying the economy, the economic impact for downtown, the local businesses and bars, I can't refute that, but I can offer you this. When the Browns moved to Brook Park, demolished the stadium, and use that area to improve the lakefront property, put in new bars, restaurants, hotels, and raise the economy that way. That seems like something that maybe short term may not pay off well, but long term, you're going to have an attraction in downtown Cleveland if you improve that lakefront property. My 2 cents. Let's see. Kathy says downtown. I don't want a dome. I understand the draw to AFC North outdoor cold weather football. And I don't want to sound like the opposite of a boomer. What would that be, like a millennial, I guess? Has it worked? Have the Browns had a lot of success at home in December in their career? Like, I know I've repeated the Saints example a ton, but you can go to any year. No. Where is this advantage the Browns are getting by playing outdoors in December? Love to point to a moment in history the last 20 years where the Browns knocked off the Falcons, the Saints, the Panthers, the Texans, the Cowboys, and put themselves in the playoffs because they had the upper hand due to the cold weather. Could someone point to that? And maybe this is just my age showing. And maybe I'm sure back in the Bernie Kosar days, there was a moment like that, man. Absolutely. Bernie days were a long time ago. Brown Stadium is grass. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. So I'm Team Brook Park. Over 100 people watching right now, just 20 likes. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button as you make your way in. Also, shout out your city for me. Get your cities in the chat. I saw Jacob Kistner in the chat. We'll get Jacob Kistner's super chat from before we even started the live today on screen as Kistner saying, here's my Nick Harris goal line jumbo package block. I mean, right here, we're looking at 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. It's in that, like, runner pass. It's kind of a long run. It didn't work on 2nd and goal. Should be running it back on 3rd and goal. And you stick Nick Harris at fullback, and Nick Chubb plows his way into the end zone. That's what Kistner just did for us, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Appreciate you, Jacob, as always, getting the party started in the super chat portion of the show. If you have any question you want to ask, hashtag Browns or super chat to guarantee a spot on screen. So if you have a question, a take, an idea, whatever it may be, and you want everyone watching to see, super chats definitely go a long way to support the channel. I want to show some love to the Brown and Orange Club for a moment here. We're going to roll this out for the entire season. Hopefully this will be a growing list. If you want to be on the list for the Brown and Orange Club, $50 super chat will put your name on screen for the entire duration of the 2024 season. So shout out to Tim Green, who I saw in the chat earlier, Mike Dibble, Jeremy Stallman, Slow But Sure, David Botner. Really, really appreciate you guys going above and beyond to support the channel. If you want your name on screen all year long, $50 super chat, and we'll throw it on there. All right, coming up on today's show, we're going to run through the latest news and rumors around that stadium. We'll talk about a potential CeeDee Lamb trade. I know a lot of you were asking for it last week as the Brandon Ayuk trade sort of started to crumble a little bit. And then we have our second to last Madden simulation, Browns versus Dolphins. So a lot to get to on today's video. 120 people hanging out with us. You can kind of tell that as the flock returns, football gets closer and closer. People are coming out of their caves, from their homes, from hibernation, going, oh, there's football. I heard some pads being clanked. Kathy's watching from Sacramento. I've got Patriot in Ohio. Time Lords in Brook Park. Or maybe you're just voting for Brook Park. Hard to say. Danielle, good to see you from Ohio as well. Kimberly Hurst in Lincoln, Nebraska, as always. Hit that thumbs up button as I've got Debbie watching from Alliance, Ohio. William Atwell's in Columbus, Ohio. Ray Bidding, hearing the Brandon Ayuk deal with Pittsburgh is about done. I think there's going to be, if Ayuk is going to get traded to the Steelers, I wouldn't be surprised if this continues to get dragged out as the 49ers continue to try and make an effort to keep him. I am very excited to see what the trade compensation will be if a trade happens. Our Steelers guy here at Chat Sports, Jack Sperry, said a 2nd and a 4th. This may or may not be true, but if they end up giving a 1st, I'm going to be convinced it's because Amari Cooper and the Browns entered the chat and jacked up the price a little bit. Okay, Are we ready to? Or is there an actual update while I've been live? Nothing that I'm seeing either. Tavon Austin retired. Oh, okay. I didn't know that had to be announced by ESPN. That seems like something that we all thought happened a few years ago.
Yeah.
When was the last time Tavon Austin played in a regular season game?
It's actually a really good question.
I'm going to guess 2021. No, that seems too long ago. I'll go 2022. 2021.
Wow.
Damn it. I should have stuck with my gut. He's been retired in my eyes for 3 years. Okay. So that's what we got coming up on today's show. Are we ready to jump into it? Here we go. Let's dive into a live Cleveland Browns report. Well, we sort of saw this coming. The Browns' new stadium proposal has hit a snag as the Cuyahoga Country has chimed in. They've entered the chat, and they're not on board. Now, when the Browns, and when I say the Browns for the rest of this video, it's basically just the Jimmy and Dee Haslam Sports Group released the renderings video. The fan base, for the most part, not everyone, but for a lot of the fans, started salivating, right? It looks so cool. Can't wait for this to happen. This is awesome. And in the back of my head, I was thinking, this is cool, but cool 2.5-minute videos from architects don't get $1.2 billion from state, county, and city. And that's where I was waiting for them to join the conversation. So before we unpack everything on the latest regarding the Browns' new stadium proposal to move to Brook Park, I want to get your opinion on the subject. Where should the Browns' next stadium be located? D for downtown, B for Brook Park. If you're picking downtown, you're picking a renovated stadium. They're not going to tear it down and build a new one. That's not something the Browns are pursuing. If you're picking Brook Park, you are picking, of course, picking up and moving to a new location. So let's talk about the latest on the Browns' new stadium adventure, as Cuyahoga County is backing a downtown stadium. They released a statement, and I've taken some snippets out of it to share with you guys, the most important parts, I thought. And it is not great news for the Browns, but it's not unexpected. They wrote to Jimmy and Dee Haslam, "Throughout our conversations, you have been clear about two primary options under consideration: renovating the current stadium in downtown Cleveland or constructing a new domed facility outside of the downtown core. Today, we are writing to affirm our united commitment to keep the Browns in downtown Cleveland for generations to come. It's pretty clear in my eyes that the Haslams want a dome stadium. They want to have a great toy that they can play with 365 days a year and not limit it to the harsh winters of Northeast Ohio, which restrict them from, there's nothing you can do once the season ends at that stadium. There's no concerts being held until spring gets there and late April, early May. Even before then, you're kind of rolling the dice. You are really restricting yourself and removing a third of the calendar. So there's no doubt in my mind that the Haslams want a dome stadium. And I think that they have propped up the downtown Cleveland option so that they don't look like the next Art Modell. They don't look like tyrants that didn't even give it a chance, right? I think they want to give this impression, this effort, that we're open to staying in downtown. We love supporting the downtown area. When in reality, behind closed doors, they can't wait to build a dome stadium in Brook Park, and I can't blame them. They can build an entire campus with hotels, bars, restaurants, have tons of events there like we saw in their renderings video, and they can make money on it 365 days a year, which I'm not going to knock them for. If they're going to spend $1.2 billion on something, they are probably going to want to use it more than 8 or 9 home games a year. Now, before we look at the rest of the statement from the county, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We got free daily content here for the Dawg Pound. We go live every Tuesday. We have game day watch parties. We're growing to 36,000 strong here, plus interactive content. I love to give shout-outs, get people on screen. So if that's the kind of YouTube channel you enjoy, I subscribe to you for subscribing down below. Now, let's talk a little bit more about what the county is looking for. I thought this ending to their letter to the Browns was very important. Browns fans have a deep-rooted emotional connection to the team's rich history in downtown Cleveland. We look forward to partnering together on the next era of Cleveland Browns football in downtown Cleveland. They are overemphasizing how much they want to remain downtown. I got bad news for the folks in the Cuyahoga Country office. The Haslams are Tennesseans. Taken from someone who went to the University of Tennessee, every other building on campus is named something Haslam. I don't think they have much of a connection to sustaining the rich history from longtime Browns fans and keeping it in Northeast Ohio. I don't think that is something that's going to pull at their heartstrings and allow them to make an emotional decision. I'm sure from the county's perspective, there's a lot of financial stuff. I mean, they talked about the risk of moving to Brook Park and them not willing to make that risk. And listen, I'm not an accountant. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on how bonds work for stadiums and things like that. But I'm sure that it's just cheaper for them to stay in downtown, and for the local businesses, it benefits them more to stay downtown. So from their financial standpoint, it might be in their best interest versus the Haslam's best interest. But the bottom line in my eyes is, what will the government pay, right? And for the Haslams, I mean, how far are they willing to share the price tag on it? I mean, Stan Kroenke, for example, the Rams owner, he foot the entire bill for SoFi Stadium to move it out there. That way he could build it how he wanted it to be built, not have to work with the local government and what they want if they were going to be a part of it. Are the Haslams willing to eat up more of the bill? If so, they'll get more of what they want. But the bottom line is, the government being a part of it means the government's going to have a say in it. And that doesn't always mean that it's a deal breaker, because when you're a billionaire, you tend to get your way more often than not. But I think the Browns, and when I say the Browns, I mean the Haslams, it's going to be Brook Park. Like, I may not have a ton of evidence at this moment to point to other than a little bit of a gut feeling and a little bit of evidence as to the Browns pursuing and releasing a whole renderings for moving to Brook Park, but dang it, it's going to be Brook Park, okay? I'm just absolute on somehow, some way, the Browns will find a way to get what they want, a dome stadium in Brook Park. And there's going to be a lot of back and forth and bickering and whatnot, but I think the Haslams are going to get their way. So, to wrap up the video, I want to once again ask you where the stadium should and or will be. And maybe your mind has changed throughout this video. D for downtown, B for Brook Park. I'm voting for Brook Park. I understand for those season ticket holders that don't want to see their seat licenses go up. And listen, that sucks. They don't want to have to deal with maybe a longer commute depending on where they live. There are valid reasons on both ends. But I think it should be in Brook Park. I think in 20 years, the Browns having a campus in Brook Park, the Browns Stadium being demolished and being redone with new bars and restaurants and improving the lakefront, which is somewhat non-existent, is going to be in best interest for both parties. And maybe in the short term, it's not going to be great for the downtown area and the economic impact of them leaving. But I think that in the long run, this may be something that everyone looks back at as a win for both sides. So I think the city should revamp the stadium location to make up for the loss of the stadium being there, and they should capitalize on that all of a sudden new profound land that can be used in a variety of ways. And that's going to ease the blow of the team and the stadium moving, but it's a bottom five state. I mean, there was a skunk in the stadium 2 years ago. Like, it's not far off from the Commander Stadium. It was hastily done in 1999 to get ready for the season opener. And I don't think doing a bunch of renovations every 5 to 10 years is going to change that. It's not a stadium that people are drawn to. It's the pumpkin by the lake. All right, before we let you guys get on out of here, two quick things here. One, if you want to get a David Njoku jersey in your closet, I noticed on Fanatics they're selling it for 25% off. So go use our exclusive link, chatsports.com/Njoku. I'm the king of the second jersey guy. Everyone has a quarterback jersey or the best player on defense, in this case, Myles Garrett. But if you see someone wearing a second jersey, a David Njoku, an Amari Cooper, like a JOK, you automatically come across as, I'm an encyclopedia for the Cleveland Browns. I'm not some casual fan. So don't be casual. Get a chatsports.com/Njoku, David Njoku jersey, 25% off. All right, time to pick the card to wrap up today's show. We've got Trizzy Trace hanging out with us today. Trace, which card do you want to go with?
I'm liking the 7 of spades today.
7 of spades. I'll go with the 2 of diamonds. Seven of diamonds.
You gotta be kidding me.
7 of diamonds. That's a tough beat right there. All right. We're going to sign off. We'll see you guys later. Appreciate everyone for hanging out with us. Enjoy the rest of your day, and go Brownies. Kistner, I love you, buddy, but I have already feeling like I'm going to disagree with this comment. Petey, December 10th, 2009, Squealers came into Cleveland and couldn't handle the dogfight. Josh Cribbs and the Wildcat took care of business 13-6. I like downtown almost solely as tradition. I can't argue against tradition. I'm a big tradition guy. I am. But you cannot reference something that happened 15 years ago as a reason to keep it where it is as an advantage. And also, have the Browns had the upper hand against the Steelers in the last 20 years since 99? No. There is nothing you can point to about that stadium being an advantage for Cleveland. Seriously, point to one thing. Not Josh Cribbs in 2009. I can point to a handful of other Steelers games, Ravens games, Bengals games in Cleveland in the weather, which the Browns lost. Mike Dibble, what's going on? Oh, Dibble. I didn't even think about that. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. That's something that's a little bit above my pay grade. Oh, I'm sorry, Dibble. I'm sorry. Okay, we'll talk, buddy. We'll talk. All right, 125 people tuned in already, 48 likes. Let's get ourselves to 52 likes to go. Let me give some shout-outs. Where should the Browns' next stadium be located? Like, don't get me wrong. Having it downtown is really cool from an optics perspective and the scenic views of it. And that you can't replace when you move to the suburbs. But I feel like the game day experience is going to make up for that. And everyone's going to be a lot more comfortable indoors in a state of art. Like, you guys seen what's going on in like Allegiant and SoFi and all these brand new stadiums? Each one just tops the other. Don't you want to have the coolest stadium in the NFL?
And I'll add this: after a couple of years, who's gonna really be mad? Oh wow, I'm so upset I'm not freezing my butt off in this game in December.
I meant to say this in the video. To me, the Browns' new stadium kind of reminds me of when the MLB went to the pitch clock. There was some pushback by people, a lot, right? I was somewhat a part of the pushback. I felt like Major League Baseball was catering to an audience that didn't watch baseball. They were catering to fans that actually don't watch the game instead of listening to the people that do watch the game. And now universally, everyone loves it. Like, sometimes you got to wait and see how it looks before you know if it's a good or bad thing. But I think this is going to be one of those things where once it's done, everyone's going to be like, yep, this was absolutely the right decision. It's like ordering an extra pizza. Like, beforehand, you're like, do we need one? And they're like, that guy, Trace, ordering that second za, that was a genius idea. That was the highlight of the night.
Reminds me of that Key and Peele sketch.
Yeah.
Where the guy keeps calling and ordering pizzas, then the guy falls in love with them.
Exactly. Okay. The next part of today's live show is all about a potential CeeDee Lamb trade. Because a lot of you were asking in the comment section, could the Browns trade for CeeDee Lamb if they don't get Brandon Ayuk? And I didn't put much stock into it because I don't think the Cowboys are really interested in trading him at all. But I figured, you know what? Let's at least discuss it together once and for all. So, I'm ready to go. Slow but sure. Good to see you in the chat, buddy. We gave you a shout-out a few minutes ago. Hope you caught it. But let's get into a CeeDee Lamb potential trade. Are you ready, Mr. Trace? All right, I'm ready. Here we go. Coming up on today's show, I want to talk about a potential CeeDee Lamb trade because a lot of you were asking in the comment section, could the Browns get Lamb if they don't get Ayuk? And listen, that's a very fair thought to have. If they're in on one 25-year-old ascending wide receiver, why wouldn't they be in on the other? Now, we're filming today's video during our live show, which airs every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So things may change between now and when this video gets posted, but roll with me as this is a very fluid situation. So the latest reports that I have right now are this tweet from Ian Rappaport saying, update on Brandon Ayuk. The Steelers and 49ers have a deal on a potential trade, and Pittsburgh is in a good place on an Ayuk contract, sources say. If San Francisco gives the final sign-off, it's done. San Francisco has an offer out to Ayuk on a long-term deal for him to stay. He hasn't accepted. So it kind of feels like ball's in Ayuk's court. Does he want to take the 49ers offer maybe for a little bit less money, but stay with a team that was in the Super Bowl last year, or go hang out with Russell Wilson and the Steelers who appear to be going the wrong direction? I think the decision's easy, but money talks. So could the Browns pivot to CeeDee Lamb, right? They appear to be somewhat out of it, although I was told they were out of it for Deshaun Watson, and we know how that ended. But maybe they change their course to CeeDee Lamb, another young, ascending wide receiver who is in the midst of a contract holdout. Let me give you the background on Lamb, and then we'll talk about the potential of this happening. So he has not been on training camp. He is holding out. He's going into that fifth year option of his rookie deal, Now, the rumor of a contract that was floated out there by Pretty Ricky, who is one hell of a Twitter follower right now, 4-year, $33.5 million average contract. So $33.5 million a season would put CeeDee Lamb at the second highest paid receiver. There are some differences, though, between the Browns pursuing Ayuk and the Browns pursuing Lamb. Two key differences to be exact. Key difference number one, and we'll put it on screen. Amari Cooper would likely be a part of the deal because he was rumored to be a part of the Ayuk trade. And I don't know if the Cowboys want Amari Cooper back just from an awkward standpoint. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Jerry and Stephen Jones are like, no, even though Cooper is a really good player, it'd be too weird. And we just can't have that. So pass. That's one big difference, was that it wouldn't be weird for Cooper to go to San Francisco. It'd be weird if he went back to Dallas. He did not leave on great terms. He was pretty upset and sour with them for the trade. Also, the 49ers have kind of reached an endpoint with Ayuk where they appear to have made a lot of efforts to get some type of deal done, and it was never to Ayuk's liking. So they ultimately started taking calls for trades. There have been known or very little reports of the Cowboys fielding trade calls whatsoever. So the Cowboys have not reached their, wit end with CeeDee Lamb, whereas the 49ers have gotten there with Brandon Ayuk. But if the Niners do start taking calls on Lamb, this would be an incredible deal for Cleveland. Like, he had 1,700 yards last year, 12 touchdowns, 135 grabs, three straight 1,100-plus yard seasons. And look at the numbers. He's getting better by the year. He's getting stronger. He's getting more productive year after year. I don't know if we've ever seen such a dramatic chart for a player like CeeDee Lamb from year 1 to year 4 of their career. Every single stat has gone up from the first year to the last year. Now, how could this be possible? Got two guys for you. Jerry and Steven. This is literally the header of our Cowboys Report host Tom Downey's Twitter account, because these are the numbskulls he's dealing with. A bunch of clowns that, despite being valued at over $10 billion, the first pro sports team to ever be valued that highly, don't want to pay their star wide receiver a no-brainer contract, have dragged their feet for so long that other players have gotten paid, and now CeeDee Lamb, rightfully so, goes, well, I'm better than him, so I want more than him now. I would have taken the other offer you gave earlier, but, well, you never gave me that offer earlier. So now my price has gone up because players that are worse than me are getting paid before me, and I'm not going to take less money than them just because you were lazy and you dragged your feet. And maybe the Cowboys are so stubborn and dumb that they draw a line in the sand and go, this is as high as we will go. CeeDee Lamb laughs at them, and the Cowboys decide Dak's entering the final year of his contract. It may be time to do a major reset and try and get something for Lamb now if we think we might let him walk in free agency or get priced out, or he doesn't want to come back next year in free agency. That window seems small, but this is the NFL. Crazy stuff happens all the time. So I'll turn it over to you for a moment. Would you trade for CeeDee Lamb? It's going to be expensive on two fronts. What you have to give up to get him, and then what you have to give him in an extension to keep him. But let me know, would you be willing to go through all those hoops and jumps? Yes or no? It's going to cost you a lot. I think this is a fair idea of a trade compensation for CeeDee Lamb. First round pick, no doubter. Probably another pick, and a good one too, a third rounder. And then Elijah Moore. And I think the Elijah Moore would be a little bit of a kicker to help get this done and have it be kind of a win-win for all sides. Because if you acquire CeeDee Lamb, I mean, look at the Browns' potential offense. You'd have Watson, Chubb, and Njoku, of course, but you'd have CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and I can't even fit Jerry Jeudy on screen. You got arguably three number one wide receivers on one team. For sure two, maybe a third. Like Elijah Moore would fall to wide receiver 4. I think he'd want to go somewhere where he can get more targets, more receptions, and then have a good year setting him up for a nice payday when his rookie contract expires at the end of this year. So it'd be a lot of fun. I mean, this is a fantasy football lineup here. It really is. But then you also got to consider the contract, right? And the Cowboys resistant to do so. Now you can see A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jalen Waddle, DJ Moore, like all these guys got paid this offseason. And the Cowboys, and Justin Jefferson, of course, have dragged their feet, and they have probably cost themselves millions of dollars. And if you don't believe me, there is evidence of them doing this exact same thing with Dak Prescott. They could have made an offer at a certain price, didn't do it, waited the next year when Dak had a breakout season, and then his offer went dramatically up, and they find themselves repeating that same mistake right now with Dak and CeeDee both going into contract years. But I think whether it's with the Cowboys or anywhere else for that matter, this is a rough idea for what a CeeDee Lamb extension could look like. So be prepared to give this up after acquiring him. I think it's a 4-year, $130 million deal, which is an average of $32.5 million, which would put him above A.J. Brown, making him the second highest paid receiver in football, and guaranteed $85 million. So from a GM perspective, it's a 3-year, $85 million contract, which kind of takes a little bit of that sticker price factor, that wow off, just a tad. But there's been very little trade buzz, like I said, on Lamb compared to Ayuk. So I don't think the Cowboys are even really taking calls, although as week 1 gets closer and closer, maybe their impatience grows and they decide, hey, we're not making any progress on the deal. Let's get something for him while we can. But to say it one more time, very little trade buzz on CeeDee Lamb. I'm not really even semi-confident that he's going to get dealt anywhere. My prediction is the Cowboys somehow come to their senses and extend Lamb. But if they don't, I wouldn't rule Andrew Berry out of the runnings to make a phone call and ask and inquire about the price for Lamb. If he was willing to go that far with Ayuk, why would he not go that far for CeeDee Lamb, who I would say is better than Brandon Ayuk, and every number possible backs that up. So before we sign off, I just want to tell everyone that there's a great deal continuing on Fanatics. You can get this David Njoku jersey 25% off. It's tough to find jersey sales anytime, anywhere, but especially 3 weeks before the regular season. If you want a new Browns jersey and you're on the fence, do it now before that 25% off sale ends. go to chatsports.com/Njoku. Okay, let's bring on Trace to pick a card. Trace, which card should you go with today?
I'm liking the 7 of clubs today.
7 of clubs?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with the 3 of clubs. I like 3 of clubs. I like 3 of clubs a lot, actually. I don't know what I was smoking. 6 of hearts. 6 of hearts. Okay. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. I appreciate everyone for hanging out with us yet again. If you're still watching, by the way, scroll on down. Drop a CLE for me in the comment section. You know I love to see who the end of the video crew is, so let me know if you're still watching by typing CLE down below. Would you trade for CeeDee Lamb? Let me know. I mean, how could you not be excited if you actually got the notification? I know what you give up for him and the contract and all that.
You at least got to make a call.
But, man, would that not be exciting if you got a notification? Like, use the Eagles as an example. They gave up a first-round pick and gave out a huge contract to A.J. Brown. Mm-hmm. And he's been awesome for them since, and it's a trade they would do 10 times over. There are some pros to, of course, not some. There's a lot of pros to using your own first-round pick on another A.J. Brown or CeeDee Lamb. But you can't guarantee you're going to find one in the draft. You could get a Jalen Reagor. You could get a handful of busts. You know what you have in CeeDee Lamb. He's a proven commodity. I mean, this is kind of like basic economics. Like, do you want to buy the mystery box or do you want to buy the known thing? Most smart people take the known thing. So, okay. Let me know. Would you trade for CeeDee Lamb? Over 100 people still tuned in right now. We got one super chat so far from Jacob Kistner. If you want to get on screen during our Madden sim and you're able to super chat, we'll throw it on for everyone watching to see. Greatly appreciate everyone who supports us in more ways than just one. David, hey, Petey, the starters need to get up to game speed. I'm excited for the starters to play in week 3 of the preseason. I kind of wish, not that I'm more knowledgeable on this than any other NFL coach, week 2 kind of feels like a good preseason week to play the guys. If anyone gets banged up, they've got one more week to get healthy. Maybe have them play in week 2, and then week 3 can be a mental rep week of, hey, after playing last week and getting some of the cobwebs out, watching this week, I know what I would do if I was in that situation. So, I feel like week 2 is a good week. Are we ready to jump into our Browns versus Dolphins Madden sim? Okay, let's do it. Week 17 coming up right now. Our Madden sim season is nearing an end. We've got the Dolphins and their candy-ass uniforms coming to Cleveland for a snowy showdown by the lake. The 11-4 Dolphins having a really good year in the Madden world, going up against the 8-6-1 Browns, who just come off a narrow victory in Cincinnati to take the lead in the AFC North standings, where they currently sit at the top ahead of the Ravens, who are 8-7. The Bengals are tied at 7-1, and the Steelers have lost 5 in a row. They sit in the cellar at 5-10. So who you got in this game, Browns or Dolphins? I only want to see CLEs in the chat. Put it in there once, put it in there twice. That's what she said. Put it in there 100 times. Let me know who you got in this game down below. Now, let's get into our Madden sim, as it is a frosty night by the lake. Tua facing up with Deshaun Watson. Tyreek Hill is no stranger to cold weather, so I won't even discredit him for playing in these sub-zero frigid temperatures. But Watson and Tua getting ready for a showdown. Here we go. Soul Train with a $5 super chat during our live show. We'll get that on screen for you in just a moment, Soul Train. Ooh, that's got to be the warmest part of the entire night for them, just running by that fire. Soul Train, need to see the QB healthy for a full season before going all in on a stud wide receiver that will be pricey. Would like to see the Bama pairing for one season. Yeah, I can't argue that, Soul Train. Like, the Browns have already made a lot of investments in the wide receiver room. They don't have a desire or a major need to add an Ayuk or Lamb. But I think they're kind of playing a little bit of like Madden going, well, why not? These good players are available. We should at least inquire and kick the tires on it. But I can understand the hesitancy of, hey, before we start paying all these other bills, we got to make sure the mortgage is going to get paid, which is the quarterback, and whether or not you got a good thing going there. So, Soul Train, I can't refute that. I understand where you're coming from, dude. Mike McDaniel is going to freeze, and as is Stefanski. They look like they're taking their kids trick-or-treating. Like, that's the attire they have on right now. The level of warmth. Late October. They look like they're going to go outside for just a little bit, so they don't need to put a big jacket on. They're just running from the car to the door.
You just got to go pick up the mail real fast.
Exactly. I'm going to put my slippers on. It's not going to be an issue. Here we go. Hopkins kicks it off. The Dolphins are camouflaged in their whites on top of the snow. The return stops at the 21-yard line, and the defense will take the field first. Tua Tagovailoa and company trying to get off to a nice start here in Cleveland. Tua in Cleveland does not sound right. Doesn't sound like, I don't think he's ever been to Cleveland.
I can confirm he has never once been to Cleveland outside of playing the Browns.
Yeah, I was about to go as far as Ohio, but he did have a scare in Cincinnati. 1st and 10, it's a handoff and a nice run for Devon Achane. Oh, no, Raheem Mostert. Should Raheem Mostert have a little star? He actually is quietly one of the better, productive rushers the last few years, but he doesn't scream star to me. Look at Giovanni Ricci getting some small talk in with his QB. 2nd and 4. Tua in the gun. How does Mostert get a star, but Waddle doesn't? Oh, maybe he does have one too. Tua is sacked. Down he goes. Let's go. Maurice Hurst, ladies and gentlemen. The big belly. That's what I'm talking about. 3rd and 9 coming up. Come on, boys. Get off the field. Quick 3 and out. Tua in the gun. Takes the snap. Looking. Surveying. Looking to run. He's going to get the first and a lot more. Tua with his legs. Go. Ball. Brown football. Let's go. Let's go. Tua. Biting off more than he can chew. It's frigid, Tua. Ball's going to pop out a little bit easier. Who forced the fumble? JOK? I think Delpit recovers it. I don't know. I don't care. Browns ball, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Here comes Watson and company with excellent field position. 1st and 10. They're at the Miami 44-yard line. Watson in the gun. Will look to pass. Survey, he's sacked. He's sacked. He's been sacked a lot this year. If we would like to draw up some constructive criticism for number 4, it would be get the ball out a little bit quicker. He's taking a beating. Can't have your quarterback taking that many hits. Just a numbers game. The more often you get hit, the more likely you are to get injured. 2nd and 11. Watson under center. Will drop back to pass again. Throwing. Caught over the middle. Amari Cooper will get the first down. Needed 11 yards. He gave him 12. 1st and 10 Brownies. Nice job by number 2. Moving the sticks. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Watson takes the shotgun snap. Another strike over the middle. Another catch and a 5-yard gain for Elijah Moore. 2nd and 5. Hey, Anthony Walker. Revenge game for him. If he stays healthy, he's a really, really good linebacker. Just a shame. Just couldn't work out health-wise for him in Cleveland. 2nd and 5. Watson stands in shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks to pass. Right side. Caught. First down, Amari Cooper. Oh, I beg your pardon. Jerry Jeudy. So far, exclusively air travel for the Browns offense. Juan Thornhill likes it. You get a high five. You get a high five. Browns making their way into the red zone. Under center. Run left coming. Run left coming. Run left for Nick Chubb. Has a blocker. Chubb inside the 10. Chubb inside the 5. Taken down shy of the goal line. First and goal coming up for the Brownies. Let's go. First and goal, Cleveland. Stefanski freezing his ass off, saying, hurry up so we can go inside. I formation. Watson takes the snap. It's a play fake. Throwing end zone. Touchdown. Jordan Akins. 6. Browns on top first. Show me those TDs. Let's go. Good start for the Brownies. Defense forces a turnover. Offense cashes in. Special teams doing a nice job. That's what I'm talking about. Extra point from Hopkins is up, and it is good, as it's been all year long. 7-0 good guys. Let's go. TD's coming from Cool Guy, American Cheese, Kathy, David, Christopher, Dibble. Kickoff coming up for the Browns. Corey Bojorquez will get set to kick it off here. 7-0 good guys. Get those CLEs rolling in the chat as Bojorquez boots it into the end zone. Return across the 20 and cut down before the 25. Make sure to subscribe, by the way, if you're not already. That way you can get actual real-life watch parties and not just Madden ones as preseason football is upon us. 1st and 10 in the pistol. Tua will hand it off left side. Was that Mostert? Man, he gets 5 yards. Could have gotten 10. If he just cuts that a little bit inside instead of beelining for the sideline, that's how his blocker was set up. 2nd and 5 coming up. Under center. Tagovailoa will hand it off yet again. And another fruitful run, only to be stopped just short of the line to gain. 3rd and inches. Bring the big fella in. Dalvin Tomlinson, Shelby Harris, Maurice Hurst. Plop him right in the middle. 3rd and inches. Empty set. Tua's going to pass to the flat. Caught first down. Who said bring the big guys in? That was really dumb.
Yeah, that guy needs to shut up.
Doesn't know what he's talking about. Big guys for passing? Look at Stefanski. He's like, I've got PD in my headset. I've got a pretzel in my head. I got a soft serve pretzel in my head. 1st and 10. Snap to Tagovailoa. Throw right side. Hit immediately. Just a gain of 1. 2nd and 9. Come on, defense. Make another stop. Make another stop. Back in the pistol. Tua takes the snap. Going deep with it. Has a man. First down, Tyreek Hill. I mean, Tyreek Hill's going to get his wins. Or actually might have been Jalen Waddle. I think I might have jumped the gun. Who is this? 10 or 17? I think that might have been Waddle. It's kind of crazy how Waddle, just being the understudy to Tyreek Hill, doesn't get a ton of attention or airspace, but he's really darn good too. 1st and 10, Miami. They hand it off right side. Gaping hole, first down. Oh, make the tackle, Grant. Damn it. Inside the 20. I don't know what to make as I get ready for my fantasy draft that no one cares about, the Miami backfield. There's Mostert. There's A-Chain. My guy Jalen Wright from Tennessee. I don't know who to go with. First quarter in the books. Browns 7. Dolphins nothing. Candy-ass uniforms cannot hold up in Cleveland. However, the score could also be 7-0 if they were in a dome, just to be clear. 1st and 10. Run to the left side. You got to be shitting me. 2-yard gain. Oh, we could be at 14 in a dome. This Madden sim is awful for my opinion of the dome. This might be the one time where although, okay, we'll let this play run for a moment. If they better not score a touchdown. If the sack him. If the Dolphins, if the Browns beat the Dolphins to go to the playoffs, they're not getting a dome. If the Dolphins beat the Browns to knock the Browns out of the playoffs, everyone in the stands is going to walk to Brook Park after the game and just start gathering like tools, stop at a Lowe's, a Menards, a Home Depot, just start building the stadium then. And be like, we've seen enough. Oh, touchdown. Damn it. Mostert staying warm by the fire. Come on. We are starting over at the top of the second quarter. It is 7-7. The Dolphins are 100% going to make the extra point. No kicker has ever missed in Madden. Offense, we are in for a potential shootout. Hope you guys brought your A game. I'd love to see a kicker miss the extra point. Could you imagine if that was like to tie the game in the fourth? The meltdown I'd have. Who you got? Browns or Dolphins? Get those CLEs in the chat. Let's get some good mojo for our Madden Warriors right now. I like to think they're in like another universe and they can watch us. And they're like, these guys don't care in the chat. Well, we're not going to care in the field.
They're actually the ones controlling the Madden simulation.
Kickoff by Miami. This is going to go horrible. Oh, no. I don't think he'll get to the 20. I guess he got to the 20. For a moment there, without that second effort, he was going to get stopped at the 19. Here comes Watson. 1st and 10 at the 20. Under center. Run left. Yes. Nice blocking. Look at Chubb. 1st down and more. 15-yard pickup for number 24.
So 2 runs to the left and 2 big runs for Nick Chubb.
Yeah. Let me call plays. 1st and 10. Oh, no. Oh, Watson avoids a sack, dumps it off. Akins. Attaboy. Want to take some initiative. 6-yard pickup. Under 5 to go in the second quarter. Now, week 17, baby. 2nd and 4. Under center. Play fake for Watson again. To the flat. Caught Akins for a 3rd time. Gain of 4. 3rd and 2. What do you want to do? You want to run it or pass it? I'd run it.
Run to the left.
Run to the left. Run to the left. Nick Chubb, run to the left. Guaranteed 10 yards. Book it. Oh, it's a run to the right this time. It's 100% a run to the right. It's a run to the left. Oh, no. Wow, that went... that could not have gone more opposite than I thought. It was a run to the left, and it was not a gain of 10 yards. I don't know who the blocker was. Didn't get to the man at all. 4th and 1. Browns, on their half of the 50, are likely going to punt. Trust their defense a little bit. It did not go as we had hoped. Bojorquez high into the snowy Cleveland sky and bounces into the end zone for a touchback. While the offense trots on the field, if you want to get a David Njoku jersey, go to chatsports.com/Njoku. I put that link in the comments and description of today's video. It's a great way to support the channel while also getting yourself a brand new David Njoku jersey, 25% off. What's not to love? Back to our game. 1st and 10 for Miami. Tua throwing over the middle on a crosser. Nice tackle by Greg Newsome. Gain of 6 on the play. Come on, defense. Let's make a stop here. Dolphins get the ball to start the second half, right? Oh, right. The Dolphins fumbled it. I'm silly. 2nd and 4. Drop back. Play fake. Tua. Throwing over the middle. That is tipped up. Get it. Gosh. That reminded me of the Greg Newsome pick 6 against the Ravens. The way that ball that game just hung up in the air and Newsome just like tightrope walking the sideline. That was awesome. See, it's stuff like that is why football's not back to the regular season. You just don't get that rush, even a fraction of it in the preseason. 3rd and 4 for Tua, throwing, caught, first down, but for a price. Big hit being made right there. Who is 0 for them? I don't know. 1st and 10, Miami. Approaching that 2-minute warning. Still deep in their own territory. Tagovailoa will drop back. He is flustered. He's going to tuck it and run. He slides. Gain of 4. Come on. Two-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Here we go. 7-7. We got a nice defensive, slugfest here. Oh, Jacob, I like that theory. I kind of forgot OBJ was on the Dolphins. I don't know if anyone has kind of fallen on our relevancy quicker. I'm going to name a couple NFL players that fell off the face of the earth. Michael Thomas is one. OBJ is somewhat of another. And all because of an ACL injury in the Super Bowl. Otherwise, he would have been the MVP of that game. 3rd and 6. Plenty of time. All day. Crosser. Gain of 8. First down. Dolphins driving down the field. Tyreek Hill on that last grab. First and 10. Who's 0? OBJ's 3? Okay, so he's sticking with 3. Over the middle. Caught. Gain of 8. I thought I saw a 0. Oh, the football player. Okay. This is the beauty of Madden, though. There is no clock management whatsoever. Not that particular spot would have called for a timeout, absolutely, but I would think. Tua throwing, sideline, first down, out of bounds. I mean, they are just beating the Browns with a million little cuts. 1st and 10. Minute to go. Tua throwing and hit hard. Gain of 4. He would have been better off dropping that. Dolphins burn their first timeout. Second and 6. Come on, defense. Make a stop. Make a stop. Tua. Throwing. Caught. First down. Damn. Who is Smith? Is that Jonnu? Oh, you're right. That is Jonnu Smith. Jimmy Graham also kind of fell off the face of the earth a little bit. Not just to pick on Saints players, but
after he got traded, he really did never return to form.
Yeah, he was kind of a bust on the Packers. 1st and 10. Snap to Tua. Screen. Gain of 4. Timeout Miami. Jamal Adams. He fell off. Yeah.
for a minute there, Baker kind of fell off and then had a massive resurgence, which was kind of cool to see.
Baker definitely fell off. 2nd and 6. To a throw. Oh, it's a touchdown. Damn. Got to give him credit. Oh, no, OBJ is number 0. Maybe the game's wrong. Interesting. Well, touchdown, OBJ. He gets revenge. It was kind of weird. I don't think OBJ, and someone can correct me, I don't believe OBJ played in the first Browns-Ravens game last year in Baltimore. Or he didn't play in one of them due to injury. But there was very little like OBJ revenge buzz all week leading up to the game. Can someone do the fact checking for me? I don't think OBJ played in the first Browns-Ravens game. I thought an injury. No, I don't think he played in the second one in Baltimore. I forgot how early we played him last year. I don't think he played in the second one. Here we go. Browns have 3 timeouts and 21 seconds to try and do something. Well, that's not a good start to it. You burned 4 seconds for 3 less yards. It's a bad transaction. OBJ played in the second game, so then he didn't play in the first one. Did he play in both, and I'm just making this all up? 1st and 10, the Browns are going to run it once and then call a timeout. Yeah, a gain of 12, but I mean, I guess take try to get into Hail Mary range. That's kind of like your best case here. Seeing Jed Wills and Jack Conklin in this game, I've meant to discuss this on the channel, but it hasn't felt like we've gotten to that stage yet. There's some concern trickling in from me about those two players as Watson finds a man over the middle timeout. Okay. It's August 13th right now. Training camp started 20 to 25 days ago. I mean, they've been out for 3.5 weeks on the PUP list still. When were they supposed to return? They got 1 timeout, another quick strike, gain of 4. Yeah, it's not going to get you in a field goal range. Just makes it 4 less yards or receivers have to run for a Hail Mary. So, Hail Mary coming up here for the Browns. Chubb, I've got patience with. Jed Wills, I'm getting concerned about. Oh, my God. What are they doing? It's no good. That was a 63-yard field goal in the snow? Who thought of that? That was a bad idea. So 14-7 Miami at the half. They put up 14 unanswered after an early Jordan Akins touchdown. We can all just laugh at that decision by Madden Stefanski. Okay, I'm actually going to do the math here. It's August 13th. 1, 2. Training camp started 20 days ago. I thought Jed Wills would be on the PUP list for the first 7 to 14 days. And he still is, and he doesn't even look like he's all that close. I mean, not that I could see someone being close to returning, but, like, he's not on the field at all. He's not even, like, walking around outside. It's like he's in detention. Yeah, with the trainers, I'd assume. No one has seen him. I don't think anyone has seen Jed Wills in person at a team-sanctioned thing this entire time. Or this entire training camp. He was a limited participant in like individual stuff in the spring. I wonder if like could something have gone wrong there and set it all back. Whoa! To the 30! Let's go! Nyheim Hines! There we go. Take that. 1st and 10. Throw left side. Gain of 4. Come on, O. Put together a drive, even up the score. Empty set. Watson takes the snap. Throwing deep! Incomplete. Incomplete. 3rd and 6. Big play coming up for the blurry Stefanski. Dolphins players, if I were them right now, I would just be like staring at the clock thinking every second passes, we're closer to getting back on the plane. Screen to Chubb, and he's not going to slip out of a tackle. It's just a 1-yard gain. Former teammate Anthony Walker made the stop. And on 4th and 5, the Browns are, I would imagine, going to punt. Despite everyone pretending to do otherwise, I think they're going to punt. And there they go. Not good so far. Not good. Return from the 22 across the 40. Oh, what a big hit. Who made that tackle? Here comes Tua. He's giving fivers. Getting a little slap ass going. A little bit of slap ass. I would hate slap ass in this weather. I would say, don't touch me. No, nothing. I've got an American pancake ass today. Nothing to touch here. Gain of 1 on the run. 2nd and 9. Defense trying to stay warm. Look at them all. Huddled together. Look like the Empire Penguins. 2nd and 9 at their own 45. Up 7. Approaching the midway point of quarter number 3. By himself, Tua. Pressure coming. Rolling. Throwing. Sacked. Down he goes. For the 2nd time tonight, Maurice Hurst brings him down. Let's go. Hurst, 2 sacks on the night. Nice job. Zadarius Smith wearing number 52 for no reason at all. I don't know why Madden decided we're changing the number for you. It's quite strange. 3rd and long. Let's go. Snap. Tua climbing, throwing, caught. Gain of a lot. It's 4th and 3. They're kind of in that no man's land of why punt when you can just go for it. Let's see what the Dolphins elect to do here. I wouldn't be surprised if aggressive. They're going to punt. Okay. They're going to punt. If I were them in real life, I would have gone for it just because it seems so hard to move the ball in this weather. You get 4th and 3 at midfield. Might as well take a crack at it. 1st and 10, back at their own 11. The plus side is you get to pin the other team at the own 11. It's a run for Chubb, sidestepping a tackle, and he's going to get about half the yardage needed. Browns trailing by 7. Scored first, 14 unanswered from South Beach. In the gun. Snap to Watson. Another run for Chubb, and he's going to get 4 yards. He'll take a big hit at the end, but it'll still be enough for a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10, good guys. Stefanski looks like an 80s bully. in that. Does he not kind of look like something from like a John Hughes film?
Yes. That's really good.
1st and 10. It's a quarterback option. Watson keeps it. Fumble. Scooped up by his offensive lineman. Is that Batonio? Yes, it is.
Batonio gets the first.
There you go, Joel. Big man run heavy with ball. How do you like that?
Big man, hard tackle.
Tie Man's here. Well, Tie Man, should we just start the whole show over? We're working on your schedule. 1st and 10, that's incomplete. 2nd and 10. Tie Man deserves a little bit of a break in the offseason. When the watch parties come around, the bots are way worse already. He was doing overtime to block them all. Watson crossing. Jerry Jeudy first down. There he goes. Jeudy inside the 40. Jeudy will not be stopped till he gets to the 30. Big game by number 3. That is what I'm talking about. Super excited for that connection this year. I think it's going to pay off nicely. Gave up a 5th and a 6th, and then, of course, a contract. They kind of did the Broncos a little bit of a solid, taking on his fully guaranteed, it was $14.9 million. A run! One man to beat! Chubb taken down from behind inside the red zone. Let's go. 1st and 10. From the 14. Quick strike, caught, and it's going to be a gain of 6. We got an injured Dolphin on the play. Jordan Brooks, the free agent signing from Seattle. That's got to be a very rare move to go from playing for the Seahawks to Miami, just like in terms of free agent signings. There's no team further apart than those two. That's a long ways to go. That's a 6-hour flight. Miami, the bottom to one quarter to the other. 2nd and 4. Run, left side, Chubb. Not a lot of room. He's only going to get 2. Less than a minute to go in the 3rd. That'll likely be the final play of quarter number 3. We move into the 4th. Our score has not changed since the halftime intermission. 14-7, Miami still leading. Browns threatening to open up quarter number 4 by the lake. At the 6, Watson takes a shotgun snap. He'll roll to his right, throws incomplete. What do you do here? Do you go for it or do you kick the field goal?
Go for it.
I say go for it. If you kick the field goal, a touchdown, of course, will give you the lead next, but you would need a second touchdown. However, the Browns are either going to go for it. I can't tell. I think they're going to go for it. They're going to go for it. Everyone shut up. 4th and 2. Drop back. Run it, run it, run it. He's got it. Oh, he's in. Flips into the end zone. Watson levels the score. Jam on the guitar. Let's go.
Look at this run.
That was pretty awesome, not going to lie.
Way to protect the football, too.
Oh, yeah. And the Browns are going to even it all up. 14 apiece. Show me those TDs. Now the defense needs to do their job. Let's get a stop. Let's get a stop, boys. Bojorquez resumes the kicking position. I wonder when the first NFL team will consolidate kicker and punter. I don't know why kickers can't learn to punt.
I'm surprised.
They have the leg muscle.
Yeah, I'm surprised that hasn't been the case yet.
Like
there's not been one player that's the kicker and the punter.
I would consolidate, make your kicker punt for you. I think they're capable of doing it.
Well,
they give them a whole summer to learn to punt.
Well, and think about how valuable that extra roster spot could be. It could be an extra receiver, extra lineman, whatever.
I'd also consolidate long snapper and center. Intercepted! It's picked off on the very first play. That's what I'm talking about. Greg Newsome! I remember he had a pick in the Cowboys game week 1. He has one today too. Newsome comes up with the huge tipped INT. This ball is everywhere. The initial man in coverage was Juan Thornhill. He jarred it loose, but Newsome's there to clean up the mess. Let's go. That's big. 1st and 10 out towards midfield. Watson will line up under center. He's going to hand it off. Chubb with room. Chubb, stiff arms. 1st down and more. 24 motoring his way inside Miami's half of the field. First and 10. At the Dolphins 35. It's a run that's going to go backwards. Loss of 2. Jalen Phillips greeting Chubb. Unwelcomed, I'll add, too, in the backfield. Watson's furious. I don't know what it is. Thornhill broke up the pass. Not getting enough love on the sideline for it. 2nd and 12. Run. Left side. Gain of 4. 3rd and 8. Okay. Here we go. Big 3rd down. Pick up the first, and you're going to kill a lot of clock. Let's go. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Look at this formation. 2 backs in the backfield. 3rd down. Watson is going to try and run with it. He's got it inside the red zone. Once again, using his legs, Watson extends the drive, 1st down, and this is troublesome for Miami. I see a flag? No. 1st and 10. Under 4 to play, and the Browns, they could run it 3 straight times, burn a lot of clock off, and then kick a field goal if needed. They will run it. Chubb is going to fall forward, gain of 5. Tick, 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 tick. Let's go. Burn that clock. 2nd and 5. Watson barking out commands. Take the clock down. They snap it a little prematurely. Chubb will run it. He is tackled. I didn't even see that defender because he was hiding in the snow. A little peekaboo action. 3rd and inches. That's actually perfect. You can run one more play and still get the 1st down, and then you get to kill even more clock. Run this play here, then take it to the 2-minute warning, and then the Dolphins are forced to use the timeouts. They're going to pass. End zone. Touchdown! Let's go! Amari Cooper finishes the job. That's what I'm talking about. Touchdown, Brownies. (21-14) with 2.5 minutes remaining, all 3 timeouts, and a 2-minute warning. It's all in front of Miami. Can they execute? This is what you practice all week. 2-minute drills. Can the Browns defense make a stand, boost them to 9-6-1 and get them in reach of another double-digit win season. Kickoff to restart the game. The return taken out of the end zone across the 20 to the 30. Wow, nearly to the 35. That's probably the longest return I've seen. Of course, it happens at this moment. 1st and 10. Come on, D. Come on, defense. Every single game comes down to the last possession, I swear. Last one, some overtimes. Gain of 6, that's fine. Clock's ticking. Tyreek Hill hit on the play. No, we have not had a good butt kicking in a while. That might be the final play before the 2-minute warning. See the Dolphins get it together. No, they're idiots. 2-minute warning. Miami, 3 timeouts remaining, trailing by 7. Defense. 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 I love that chant at basketball games. It just sounds a little bit better at basketball games.
I also...
They come down the court and you're like, the Jumbotron, defense.
It's also really fun, too, because of how quickly the game can go back and forth. So all the defenses quickly go to...
Right.
It's super fun.
So the Dolphins, I think, believe that their timeouts carry over to the next game. They're still holding on to them. They're not acorns. Throw. Intercepted! Yes! Yes! Is that Greg Newsome? It's Greg Newsome! A second INT! That one should seal it. Let's go! Newsome just jumps this route. Look at him. Ha! Mine! 2 picks in the night, in the 4th quarter. And now you get to lean on 24. You're a 1st down away from officially winning, but life just got a whole lot harder for Miami. Browns run it 3 straight times, force the Dolphins to use all 3 timeouts. They do run it on 1st down. Chubb is going to get the 1st down. Technically, they can run it out, I believe. I am confident that even if they kneel it, might be close if they kneel it, actually. That last one would take 40 seconds. Then I don't know. 1st and 10. Run for Chubb. He is hit hard. No gain. 2nd and 10. This next play, let's say it's 3rd and 8. Timeout. Miami. Be 2nd and 10. And they'll run on 3rd down. And then they can let it run for 40 seconds. I guess they can't kneel it out. I don't know. I'm thinking too much. Just run it. Make them force their last time out, and you're good to go. Another run for Chubb. Oh, I see the 1st down. He's got it. Stays in bounds, it looks like 2. Timeout. Oh, it's game. Ball game. Oh, that's looking pretty good. I love it. The Browns are just a few snaps away from their 9th win, ladies and gentlemen. 14 unanswered in the 2nd half. They shut down the Dolphins' offense. Victory formation. Let's go, baby.
That's it.
That's the ball game. Spam those W's in the chat. Cleveland. Smelling the offs. Smelling the offs. That's what I'm talking about. This definitely does not go well for me saying get the dome. But I don't care. You could still beat them in a dome too. Don't feel like you have to rely on Mother Nature just to win games. And that one will do it. Final 21-14 Browns over the Dolphins. Appreciate everyone for tuning in to our Madden simulation. As always, it's a blast. We're going to let you guys get on with the rest of your day. Don't want to take you up any longer. But Brownies picking up another win in the fake world. Hopefully that translates over to the real world. All right, before we call it a live show, one last time, where should the Browns' next stadium be located? D for downtown, B for Brook Park. I want to know from everyone. Dibble says B. Cool Guy says B. Debbie says B. That's all I need to see. Ghostface, I see a lot of B's. A lot of B's. Okay. I got to get going. I've got a thing to run to. I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday nights. Go Brownies, and I'll see you all later.